evening, good afternoon, good night. God bless you wherever you are at in America land. I am your host with the most, Dr. Armando Collins for the BigPotz Podcast. Making it do what it do since 1972. Yeah, I thought you knew. We're back with another one and glad you are here. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. The BigPotz Podcast!
Man, I got to lay off these vapes, bro. Yeah.
There is no more
nicotine
joy.
free.
Yeah, there's no more joy in life.
There's no more joy in life.
Alrighty, everybody, we are back. And we have my next guest who really doesn't need an introduction if you've ever met Anjan. However, suffice it to say, this is my intellectual bestie. I've been rocking with Anjan since 2010, and I'm going to let him introduce himself and what he does. But I will start it off by saying everybody who knows Anjan loves him just as much as I do, and I guarantee you, you will too. Give it up for Mr. Anjan Basu, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, sorry. Hey, man, thank you for that introduction. That was very kind of you. So, yeah, my name is Anjan Basu. I am an academic advisor / adjunct instructor at a predominant HBCU over on the East Coast. I'll teach wherever I possibly can because as an academic advisor at HBCU, I make no money. So I have to make more. So I teach on the side, right? And I adjunct in areas, basically anything in English literature, African American lit, post-colonial lit, the accompanying theories, and African American studies, right? And I can dabble a little bit into the actual African American history discipline as well. I've taught every grade from 6th through college, and I'm trying to make a career out of education, but I love education more than education loves me. So this is a very, I'm not saying it's domestic violence relationship, but it's,
Yeah, you've been running up and getting punched in the
it's
mouth.
strenuous. You know what I'm saying? It's strenuous, right? So, and Armando and I met in our master's program. It was actually 2008. First class, like we knew each other. And it was like a 3-hour class in person. They gave us like a 10-minute smoke break. I'm used to being outside by myself smoking, and he was outside hyping up a black, and a friendship grew from there. So like my kids know his kids, and that's Uncle Armando and I'm Uncle Anjan. Actually, I don't think I'm Uncle Anjan.
No, really, you are.
But
You really.
no, I mean, I am. I know I'm saying like the actual specific title. You know what I'm saying? But like we've just grown into family, and intellectually, he and I run in very similar lanes to the point that he's vital to my personal research. If I've got the ingredients in my head, but I don't have a solid recipe, I can come to you, Armando, and be like, here's what I got. And you help me make sense and organize my thoughts. So,
and vice versa.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's where we're at.
We're like hip hop Marx and Engels.
You know what? I'm not even going to place myself under the framework that these jokers conceptualize. Like, I don't care anymore. You know what I'm saying? They had their time, they did their thing, but I don't understand why we believe in an ever evolving and changing amoebic society and culture, but yet all of our fucking freaking intellect
comes from the same
basis is in a fixed point status and time saying this is the best thing that anybody has ever or will ever think of. So let us, like, why are we running?
The best you can do is riff off
You know what I'm saying?
what these motherfuckers did.
I don't really know anything about banking, but I'm willing to assume that Wells Fargo isn't running on a DOS floppy disk operating system.
Why are we still doing that? But
Just
that's situational too. Like, and sometimes the past in American culture, sometimes the past is the best thing that ever fucking happened to us. Other times, oh, we need to fucking forget all of that shit. In the same breath, you're telling us to forget slavery. You also have to reify the Constitution over and over again, like some 30 years something farmers from
right.
from the 18th century. Just they knew in the back of their minds exactly what was supposed to happen for perpetual. Just we got this. What, to your point, why do we have to keep following that as a paradigm, especially when that it's been demonstrated over and over again that that isn't useful?
Because it's easy.
Is it though?
Yeah, no, no, no. It definitely is. Like the infrastructure is already built for you. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do it's your electrical socket in the wall. You don't think about the juice until you need it, and then all you got to do is plug in.
What?
That's the corrosive. Angela Davis, right? Mass racism,
Mm-hmm.
right? Industrial prison complex. I forgot where in what context she was talking about it, but she uses the words the parasitic seduction of capitalism.
So, if
You see what I'm saying? Like it, you know,
capitalism is a parasite, but it has to lure you into the parasitic relationship over and over again. Yeah.
yes,
Okay. Okay. I'm
yes.
following.
Or the architect from the Matrix trilogy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's the system has to entice you enough. Like I've always had this metaphor in my head. You're in a desert, you're by yourself, you're dying of thirst, you're walking for days and days and days. And one day you stumble on a well.
Mhm.
The well has a sign next to it, and the sign says, this water is 0.0001% poisoned, and the poison will make you an addict to this well.
Mhm.
And that's it. Do you drink?
You got to.
The parasitic seduction of capitalism. You put people in a desert, you make them damn, you know what I'm saying? You,
That kind
you
of
make them die
that
of thirst,
fits.
and then you offer them a water source on your condition that now bonds them to the well.
You got to have money to survive. If you don't have money to survive, you are a criminal. Here's these couple of
Look, yeah,
options.
yeah. As it's looking, the way, yeah,
No, no. I mean that really is America. Like it got
yes,
rules are
it's
different
the
everywhere.
public policy across the
Yeah,
nation. Yes, sir.
it is a it is a crime, civil crime, low level crime, misdemeanor to be homeless, vagrancy. We've
Correct.
had vagrancy laws on the books forever, but
Yes,
vagrancy laws have always been, since America started, weaponized as state power against citizens to inspire conformity.
yes,
Hear me out.
yes.
In early, like from Reconstruction up until around 1965, vagrancy laws, not having a job, are
Right,
weaponized against black men. Well, black people, but black men specifically,
right.
um, in order to keep labor subjugation and build this new industry now that slavery is over, called the prison industrial complex.
I mean, it makes
What?
sense.
Okay, what's happening right now with ICE running up on just average people,
Mhm.
interrogating them and
All right,
whisking them off
all
into the
right.
night? This has been happening to
Yes,
black citizens since the 19th century, but specifically after Reconstruction with vagrancy laws. There's a PBS documentary called Slavery by Another Name that lays it out. You can look at it as the preamble to Michelle Alexander's the 13th. It's showing how the 13th Amendment was weaponized. With in across America, there's sundown towns, and African American
all
men
right.
especially are being forced to just walk. walk and go find
Oh, right.
labor, substance, family, right? Well, the law across the nation, informally and formally, is you have to have a job. If a
Hmm.
if a cop rolls up on you and you ain't got no work papers or no place to be on a Tuesday at 1 p.m. when men are supposed to be working, you
Right.
can go to jail.
Correct.
Imagine waking up, kissing your wife and kids, going out to mill about to go find work, but you ain't got no work. A cop who's making a quota rolls up on you, where's your papers?
Right.
They can take you with no due process and put
Correct.
you into a prison camp. Now, the
Mhm.
prisons back then were only meagerly funded by the state and
State
federal.
apparatus. Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
They were private
Where,
entities.
so they wardens who officially become essentially the plantation owner
Actually, to
starts
be honest
farming
with
out
you,
their labor.
you remember when you was like in college and coming out of college and you would try to get some like little minimum wage hourly gig
Yeah,
from a temp service like
yeah,
manpower?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're describing.
Basically, yes.
You see what I'm saying?
But
Like this was just labor farming.
if you ain't got no
This is
job, the new labor becomes being a prisoner to the state.
correct. A ward of the state,
We're
right?
gonna get some money about you.
Yes, one way or the other. But at the same, well, so this is the other thing though, man, and I'm always kind of scared to say this, but I would argue that every single aspect of American life that anybody can imagine,
Mhm.
from whatever social class articulation, whether it's, you're socially articulated or you're like placed in, you're birthed into a particular level, which then dictates your class and da da da. It don't matter, right?
Mhm.
This is America, Jack.
Mhm.
Everything that can be foraged, that can be squeezed, that can be produced by any methodology necessary to the situation is
Mhm.
allowed. That is the work of Jesus. And the work of Jesus in America has been to only see the black body as performative. It's either carrying the sins of whiteness,
Mhm.
the labor of whiteness,
Mhm.
or the entertainment of whiteness.
Mhm.
And that is it. And in 2025, in my personal opinion, you give me enough time, I can find enough, public policy across the nation that will back this up.
Mhm.
But there's not an area of life that the hypocrisy and the evils of whiteness, white supremacy, Euro-American, whatever they want to call it, the Enlightenment movement, modernism, all that type stuff, poisoned well water.
Mhm.
It's always going to be poisoned, right? And at a certain point, I think some of our like intellectual work that we put into like, hey, look, that's happening.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, you know
Duh.
what I'm saying? Like, where are we? You know what I'm saying? Like, where have you not found it?
Mhm.
Real talk, like that should be a discipline, not critical white studies as show me in American experiences where this is not happening or not in play, whether it be overtly or subvertly. You know what I'm saying? Show me
Hold on.
where it's not.
So that's kind of where you're at with it intellectually. Y'all, Anjan is finishing his PhD at Howard, but
Keep my faith.
he been at this many moons. And Anjan's angle is creating almost like it's a description of whiteness as a hegemonic system over time across cultures. But it's looked
Yes.
at not from the Eurocentric lens of white people telling you what they did. It is people who it's being done to looking at these white people and
Mhm.
explaining to each other what two Bobs are doing.
Yes.
Well,
It's like two strangers. It's like two foster kids in an orphanage that are both getting abused by the headmaster, but they're both new, so they don't know anybody. And they're like, one person is crying in the middle of the night in their bed, and the dude next to him's like, and the bed over is like, "Yeah, man, he got me too. All right." He's like, "Yeah, man, I don't, like,
Meanwhile, the slave master is telling y'all two, shut up talking. Y'all can't
right.
even understand each other. You're not from the same family.
What? I'm not allowed to commiserate in my misery,
No,
but you want me to feel bad about 9/11? Gotcha. You understand what I'm saying? Like, okay,
in
it's that
Anjan,
that's the kind of thing, man. I just don't get it. I don't understand why we can't. Why when I talk about it, it really bothers people.
because we've been socially programmed and conditioned. I mean, I'm not saying like this ain't even conspiratorial. In a hegemonic system, from top to bottom, you're educated
You're in.
into the value system of the dominant discourse, which in this case is oligarchic state capital. Like rich people and the government have created this narrative of whiteness. Like we were born by the time I came in here in 1975, the script was already written. Everybody had got this
Yes,
program.
yes.
I have a glitch in me that won't allow it to just I see it. I get it. I can
I
be
mean, yeah, but
proficient
we
within
also
it,
like
but at the
having
same
phones
time,
and
it's
cable.
yeah, I can still see the contours of it. Remember
Yes.
that Roddy Piper movie where Scanners, where every time he put on the sunglasses, he would look at people and he found out everybody was infected by aliens. And like when he put on the
Oh
sunglasses,
yeah, I forgot
everybody
about
had
that.
a skull face. That's kind of what it is. Like
But
you
see, I
still
have
got to
to.
perform. You still got to perform through this.
But
Your
see,
your labor and your labor and you're a consumer. But at the same time, when you're aware of that, damn, it's all for naught. And in order for me to be even okay,
mm,
somebody has to be getting shitted in
well,
order
yeah,
for this to work.
yes,
Whiteness has created a narrative where that is normal. That process is normal, but part of it is recreating a narrative that makes it all seem normal. Even though the color keeps changing in Oz, there has to be a story attached to why colors change that make it normal. So you don't say, why do these colors keep changing? That's some
well,
bullshit.
okay. I would. My
White
first,
white
my first.
supremacy was white
Go ahead.
supremacy in 1825, 1925, and 2025. But the story it tells about itself and its exceptionalism has changed slightly in order to keep its dominance.
Yes, yes, yes. But at the same time, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
I still see the contours, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are talking about a singular thing across a timeline that I want to put at approximately 500 years for the sake of argument. Okay.
Okay.
This operation has been in operation for 500 years. If you want to really understand how whiteness has evolved, grown, morphed, or whatever, just look at the rise of the Vatican Church. It's a similar system of belief,
Mm-hmm.
right? That requires belief from the people in
Absolutely.
order to elevate the religion, which then becomes a social slash cultural construct. So now the two levels of operation in our society are working to benefit each other, or at least
Yeah.
that's the narrative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Working to benefit each other is the narrative. That is not what it is.
How would you describe what it
You see what I'm
is?
saying? Like that's we are all batteries for this machine. Like we're the fuel, we are the fuel in an internal combustion machine. In America, if you take America as the entire engine, right? Black folk is that little shot of gas that's put into the cylinder head, right? And then has to go undergo that extreme pressure,
Yes.
and then to the point that it superheats and explodes.
But that is the thing that makes the entire engine go.
Engine go. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Black folks in America they've always been by whiteness positioned and used as that fuel. That's the reason why they like your, what do they say? You like our rhythm, but you don't like our blues,
Mm.
right? The whiteness aspect is predicated on violence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Violence,
saying? It's
division.
predicated on some like uh Joe versus the volcano kind of shit. They
Hmm.
gotta sacrifice y'all to the machine so they can continue to eat the way they want to eat. And it makes them feel a certain kind of way to see y'all eat the way y'all eat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because an amount of Schadenfreude when you have this level of hypocrisy, evil, and inhumanity over a 500-year period. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I went to the Vatican. I just got back from I went to go visit the Vatican like 2 weeks ago for the
Hmm.
first time I've ever been to Italy. Like, we went to Rome, right?
Yeah.
So I'm walking around the Vatican on the little tour, whatever, with all the rest of the tourists and pilgrims or whatever, whatever. And I'm just like, yeah. When I was online, I was taught that excuses are monuments of nothingness.
It
The
is a
Vatican City,
monument of nothingness.
monument of nothingness. It's just belief, bro. It's just belief. It's a man's faith, an individual or a collective group's faith.
But okay, that goes back to one of my central theses. What what we call worldview is really social conditioning and programming through narrative of sorts. Like,
Yes. Yeah, no, I can agree with that.
but our worldview,
Mhm.
well, our worldview becomes consequential, especially on not just an individual but a collective scale. Once it starts showing up as behavior, which inevitably worldviews do.
Okay.
The Catholic Church being an example of a created belief system,
Mhm.
thereby codifies that belief through ritualistic practices
Okay.
that are then explained to the people doing them as this is your culture coded. Those same people take that religious belief. Remember,
All right. Yeah.
the sacred is supposed to be different from secular spaces. But all right, you did this on Sunday. When you went to work on Monday and you were deciding what's fair, what's just, what's equitable, and what the next move is, you still got all of that Vatican programming in your head from Sunday. You don't think that Vatican programming is going to show up Monday when you're in the office and you have to be, okay, there's this Muslim person in your in your
All right.
courtroom. Do you? I mean, are they worthy of grace, compassion, or are they infidels? Fuck them. Worldview kicks in. Now
So,
in America, religion, our religion, or better yet, Protestant religious systems took that Vatican shit and infused racism into it. Like they literally
but that's
the
like
early
saying that the
church used to
Vatican
sit
didn't
there.
have racism in it.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. They all by the time they get over here, all of that shit is baked in. But when they get here, remember all of these little towns and Jamestown and all these little hamlets. They're all of them start at there's a church in the center of every town.
Hmm.
Religious instruction was citizenship instruction, and one thing that they did was lay out the hierarchy of the United States, being that we pilgrims are, and I'm just using the language pilgrim,
Right, right.
are divinely ordained to come here
Hmm.
and show these lesser than us God through our behavior and building of this great society. You see
Almost
how
sounds almost sounds like the Israelites.
you see how exactly across systems, across cultures, across times, you see this same pattern.
All right. So, do you want to talk about what we deal with it, or I got some thoughts on the history of it?
Let's go. Let's go. We'll deal with it or history. It's on.
All right, but we'll do the history because it'll be quick. From my very simplistic research over the last couple of years of my life, I have come to conclude that almost every group of collective humans, societies and cultures, right,
Mhm.
have been like conflict and culture absorption and loss and syncretism, like synthetic melding. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the Hegel's dialectic, right? You know what I'm saying? The thesis and the antithesis,
Antithesis,
and then it comes
synthesis.
together in this. So I'm saying like all of that, if we take all of that into consideration, there's really only two groups of people in the modern world that have yet to be completely taken over. And those are the descendants of the German tribes and the descendants of the Persians.
Mm,
Everybody else has been taken over in some form or fashion, whether it be direct colonialism, direct war, you know what I'm saying, invasion
yeah.
type stuff, or what I would consider today transnational globalism, right? Like it's our transnational neoliberal consumerist based, like we'll
Hold on,
send in
wait. Break
McDonald's
that
into
down.
your country, and if you don't like that McDonald's, we're sending our army with McDonald's to set up the McDonald's,
Absolutely. Okay.
right? On some
We
DMX, right? Like
we're
so,
gonna take you over culturally,
yeah,
economically, and militarily. And depending on your behavior, your
politically
how
as
that
well.
comes is based on your behavior.
Yes,
For
yeah,
instance, Japan, after we bombed the shit out of them, we gave them a ton of Coca-Cola.
not a peep, bro. You
And
understand me? And we got Toyotas and Mitsubishis and Nissans and Hondas and you know what I'm
what did
saying?
Benny Siegel new guy say? Get down or lay down.
Yeah, bro. Like it was, but shoot, you get two nuclear bombs dropped on you and you ain't got one.
You gonna straighten up like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you know, I'm sorry, mama.
And as soon as America leave, I be talking to
That's
you.
it, right. I'll be talking to you. But we don't leave.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We don't leave. We never leave. And all we did was we used our business and we spread it across the world, across using the exact same network that was laid down by European colonials.
Mm-hmm.
The Dutch East India Company is Exxon Oil today. You see what I'm saying? Like well, I'm not saying that literally, but I mean, if you look at how they operate or whatever, you can see there's an overlap, right? So that's the history of what we're dealing with today.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It's 500 plus years of an intermingling of commerce, religion, society, culture, education, gender roles, family structures. The list goes on and on.
All right. Since we're here, all
Yeah.
right, what's next? Like if you understand, we're past the stage of just identifying the problems.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What next? Like how do you work with it? It's never there's no one
Well,
button solution.
no,
Like you
there's not.
and realistically, even if I can I'm against it, the best I could hope for is living through it.
Correct. Well, yes. So I would argue living through it, yes, living through it productively, more so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this isn't, at times, this is just time we got to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at other times, this is times where we can negotiate, strategize, you know what I'm saying? Coming, like what I used to say, I done came up on a come up, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah.
it's those kinds of things, man. Like, so as a parent, okay, I'll put it like this. I've dedicated my career to trying to educate Black students, or really not white students, about this white American world that they're about to go live in for the rest of their life,
Mm-hmm.
right? And raise kids and do all that type of stuff. There is, when I tell you there is no money in this industry, bruh, there's no money. I could triple my salary just by just by creating the training PowerPoints for the folks working at the IBM computer plant about how to put together this computer using the screwdrivers and whatnot. I can
Yeah.
do that standing on my head, but I could triple my salary with that, right? It's these kinds of moments. So I made the choice to not ever have money. Or if I have money, it's not going to come from my job.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying?
you've had
But
to strategize
right, but
survival
I'm going to have to go get this
a
right.
different way. Yes,
But it doesn't
absolutely.
matter what kind of credentials I have,
No.
you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I am in this industry, and that was my conscious choice, right? So, in that one way, I feel like I am claiming whatever autonomy that I can in this space, right? But at the same time, I teach all my stuff. I got an iPhone, a MacBook, an iPad, right? All my kids got iPads. We an iPhone family, right?
Mhm.
So basically, for me and my family to enjoy our technology and for me to do my job educating these black kids here in America, I'm basically saying, fuck you to a 5-year-old Chinese kid,
Who's
make my
working in the
Apple.
coal mine? Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, man? Make my Apple shit right now. You know what I'm saying? I want my MTV. Yo, you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. And I say all that to say this, man. We are all complicit in a system that it is impossible for us to break free of,
Hmm.
right? If you understand that, then we understand when they force feed us, we
Yeah.
now have the palate that'd be like, nah, this is just bullshit.
Hmm.
Nah, this has nutrients.
But
You see what I'm saying? And then you make your choices to the best of your ability that day.
yes. Well,
That's it. That's
I think that
and pray for
to
white
to
to
the point
destroy
that
the
you're
black.
making, we are at that point, and we have to we have to start being a little bit more exacting in our narrative about where we're at. It,
Okay. Okay.
the narratives that we have are survival knowledge about
Yes.
us, and if you could step back from it, very often inside the veil, to use Du Boisian terms. When we're
Right.
talking amongst each other, we have this us against them narrative about society whiteness, but really whiteness gets to stand in the default of society, America in general, because it's made it that like
Well,
it's
when I use the
listen,
word
listen.
whiteness, they're all the same thing.
No, no.
Yeah.
Whiteness, America is a system of white supremacy. And when I say whiteness and white people in
Uh,
America, I'm those are three different things, but they're all interrelated to
hold
the
on.
point where, and I can use the words interchangeably.
Okay, so all right. I might need before we move forward, I might need to know what these definitions are because I'm using the same words, but we're not using them the same, I don't think.
What do you mean?
So whiteness to me is what I am naming this current system of Euro-American dominance, global dominance, in a system that has existed for some 500 years. It
Okay.
is based upon artificial hierarchies and classifications,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where they always are on top,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be for moral, racial, cultural, educational, whatever, civilization, like it's all, you know what I'm saying? Like it's whatever they want it to be. It can be that. They set the rubric, right? So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, whiteness, white folk, white people in America all fit under whiteness. Whiteness is the catch-all term. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Where I think I'm with you.
Okay. So how are you?
Whiteness is this catch-all term, and it describes the totalizing hegemonic nature of systems of power,
Okay.
institutional and informal power
Right.
that whiteness is. However, when I say white people,
Okay.
I could be referring to that, and I could be referring to individual persons who may or may not fall underneath the definition of a Caucasian. You can be
Okay.
listen,
Okay. I think I'm floating with you.
but in America, whiteness is a global system. America is a national reflection of that global system.
How can it be a reflection of when it's a part of that global system?
Okay, well, maybe the word reflection is wrong, but
Okay.
it's a facet. Facet. Let me say
But
that.
okay. So all right. So what about okay, let me ask you this. What if you envision this like the internet?
Mhm.
So, fun fact, the majority of the internet cables, like the fiber optics and stuff that are laid across the Atlantic Ocean,
Mhm.
just coincidentally happen to follow the transatlantic, like the triangle trade routes. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? So if we invented the internet, but then now the whole world's got it. You see what I'm saying? Because the internet was a US military
Yeah.
application, right? So if we invented the internet, if you picture America on that big map, we had to lay that fiber because this is the 80s, early 90s, we're doing this, right? So we had to lay that fiber going off the West Coast, going off the East Coast. You see what I'm saying? And it just spread across the world. Everywhere that our internet fiber goes to, it makes it a part, it's a node on the network. You see what I'm saying? So what's going to happen is you have different manifestations of a centralized theme. There's a reason why the McDonald's in Tokyo, Japan has something called McNoodles. But you ain't never going to get no damn McNoodles in anywhere in America, Jack. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't no udon noodles at McDonald's.
But okay, to your point though, that's what I'm saying. Like
That's all
sometimes,
whiteness,
like
though. That's all whiteness.
America isn't all whiteness. When we say America, I be putting my right foot in, putting my right foot out, talking about America, because yeah, America's some bullshit, but I am inextricably attached to it.
Okay, you don't have to be though. It's just choice.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where am
No,
I
it,
gonna go?
it definitely is. It's
Where am I
just
gonna go? Don't get me wrong. I think America is some bullshit, exporting bullshit to other people. But at the same time, if I go to one of these countries that got shit, American shit exported to it, they're gonna say, "Oh, you're an American." They're gonna be
yeah,
like, "Oh, you're Armando, you're black," and we understand the nuanced difference between you and the system of white supremacy that your country represents. No,
right,
you American, and like as a category, black people as
bro.
much as we've gotten shitted on by America, there ain't been a place that these motherfuckers have traipsed that we ain't been. There was a motherfucker pointing George Washington in the direction he was supposed to be going when he's floating on the Potomac. If you
Right,
watch
right,
the
right,
picture,
right,
he's
right.
standing on the front. There's a black guy sitting in the back, like, "Okay, Bo, it's over that way." It's a
Oh,
metaphor that we've always been there. This
yeah,
fucking
without a doubt. Without a doubt. Now, okay, so
we
this
ain't
is
a part of it, but we is a part of it. But that's why I'm saying I'm I let language rock, but I have to parse it out
so okay.
exactly what I'm really getting at.
I can understand where you're coming from. Okay. I can't say I share a lot of your sentiments, but I can't say that I really do.
Okay.
Because like for me being, post-colonial diaspora, right?
Yeah.
My whole life growing, like I'm born and raised in America, but because I was Indian and I was the only not white or black person in my little North Carolina country town coming up in the late 70s, like
Mhm.
I've never been American by white or black Americans. You see what I'm saying? I've
But ain't
always
America something like in between
no.
the nexus of all of those definitions?
But this is the thing though. But when I go to India, I'm the American, which means I don't belong in either space.
But don't you belong everywhere the fuck you at? Like that's where I'm at with it.
No,
Like,
but that's the point. That is my point. I belong wherever I say I'm going to belong. I can belong to this soil, but that doesn't mean I got to belong to America. You know what I'm saying? Now, but that's a little bit off. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. You have individual white people that can choose to be agents of or not to be agents of to the best of their ability of whiteness. Okay. That's individual white folks in their
mhm,
individual lives doing their individual things. They can do their best to be agents of whiteness or do their best to be not agents of whiteness. Right.
mhm.
I would argue that's pretty much everybody has that. And that's like Lawrence Ross said this. the most nefarious thing about whiteness is that it does not require its agents to be white,
That
right?
is another
Anybody
yes.
can uphold these
L-
laws, right?
Yes, yeah,
Anybody, think about it, the
absolutely.
Empire in Star Wars, from like if from a Republican's point of view, the Empire was too DEI because they would take anybody
Anybody.
into their ranks.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? That's what we're dealing with. So like that's the system of whiteness.
Hmm.
Individual white folks, white people, Chad, Sarah, and Tom, they can do these things if they choose to, right? Then you've got white folk, which is the system, in my opinion, then let's go with the system of whiteness in America.
Hmm.
Because like if you, and, there's plenty of scholarship out there that traces that, you
Yeah.
know, like no one really cares about if you're Caucasian. That's not a biological
Category. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
category anymore. You know what I'm saying? But it was at one point. So right now it's just whiteness, which in itself is amorphous,
Hmm.
amoebic, and ethereal because at the end of the day, it's made up monkeyshit.com.
To keep the party moving.
Right. We
And
just
it
got, as
keeps
long as people
changing its
believe in it.
narrative.
So
Yeah.
like, so at that point, I mean, I forgot who asked these questions, but famous like, does man exist because God believed in man, or does God exist because man believes in God?
On the cards.
I don't even remember. I got to
Oh,
be
it
honest.
sounds
But
Cartesian.
it's
I
it's
think
it's one of
therefore I
them
am.
type of, you know what I'm saying? But like
Yeah.
I but at the same time, we have to remember I'm an atheist,
Yeah.
right? And that's part of my worldview, right? Everyone's got their own little blue unicorn that they want to believe in.
Yeah. But I mean, belief is belief. Just because you say I'm a Christian or you say I'm an atheist, that doesn't mean these other belief systems don't exist
I ain't
or
gonna
that
front.
your
One of the
belief
best
system exists within a vacuum.
as an atheist, I'm one of the best Christians I've met.
If you
You
read the
understand what I'm
Bible,
saying? Like I'm a great Christian. Still going to hell though, don't trip. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you won't be
yeah.
by yourself though. I mean, that's
Uh,
where all the fun is going to be
no, but
because
so
that's where
this
everybody
this is
gonna wind
my
up.
this is my problem. I gotta go to hell, that's fine. But don't put me around the motherfuckers that was down on my nerves because they're gonna go to
Yeah,
hell
real.
too, right? You know what I'm saying? Like we all going to hell. I'm just saying though, just don't make me have to sit next to my cube mate again. You know what I'm saying? He used to peel his fingernails while we were taking phone calls for Amex. Like it was terrible.
Well,
But
I mean, the way hegemony is set up in this country, or as whiteness, it's very much like we're just joking about religion and atheism. That these worldviews present themselves and get narrativized as all-encompassing uh totalities that are zero-sum games. It's you believe this and or well, and you have to bang against everything that isn't that.
correct, correct. And we'll let
And
you know what those things are.
absolutely, where and this is kind of how whiteness is treating America right now. It don't got to be that way. It's naturally pluralistic.
It
In
doesn't.
in the Torah, they recognize that there are other religions and other people from the very beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
New Testament, same thing.
Shoot,
The
Hinduism,
Quran, they know that there are other belief systems, and we got to work within this motherfucking belief systems. America created whiteness. Whiteness is a natural. It naturally created plurality, social plurality. You remember, like it could have been tall people, short people.
right,
It could have been, but we said color, right?
right, right,
So when you say whiteness, you can't have a whiteness unless there's an antithesis to that whiteness, which
correct,
becomes this category blackness. What we see over time is that category blackness being manufactured at the same rate and in direct opposition to this whiteness that is being manufactured. And where we came in, like when we came in the 70s, whiteness is manufactured as on topness, blackness is on bottomness.
right,
And it's almost like wrestling. You can you can start the wrestling match from the top position or the bottom position.
right,
Either
right.
one of y'all can win, but you got to start from the position you
Oh
at.
no, This ain't that kind of match. Either one of y'all is not going to
Okay,
win.
not gonna win.
This
The
is
motherfucker on the top is always gonna
WWE.
win.
You understand what I'm
The
saying? This
script is
is
already written.
scripted. Think about it, because remember what I said earlier. The black body is performative. If you look at the history of the black slave body under Christian slave owners, right?
Mhm.
The black body, Cotton Mather said this. You can transfer your sins, brothers and sisters, onto that wretch's back,
Dang.
for he is the vessel of sin.
Mm. The
They
sacrificial
was
lamb,
doing
Jesus Christ.
credit balance transfers on salvation shit. Oh,
Damn.
you got 0% interest over here on this dude's back?
It's not funny, but for real, that is
That's exactly what it is. And they
like
would
there
be
are
like,
books
all
of
right, cool.
instruction of Christian instruction where Cotton Mathers and others are telling white people how to do this. And better
In
yet,
there,
they're
in
not
the
saying this is an
pulpit.
option. They're saying this
This
is
is
your moral
God's
duty.
word.
Yeah, this is what you got to do. Your lot in life is to rule over those motherfuckers. But
Boom. Like, what
right
are we
now they're
doing?
saying the same thing. It's just a
It's a
different.
different, well, I mean, technology has changed. So, like, one thing, like, when we talk about human societies and like, there's always going to be some type of oppressive structure, right?
Mhm.
Yes, but I believe that the level of oppression that was thought up in these societies, like feudalism, whether it be European medievalism or like, Japan and China's feudalist dynasties, all I'm saying is the technology of that civilization greatly impacts how the people were forced to labor.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So when everything was backbreaking agricultural to keep like if you couldn't grow it or hunt it, you couldn't eat. Yeah, you put everybody out there in the fields, right? If you were born on top, right? But we have now moved into an era, an epoch of human existence on this earth. We could be the Star Trek Federation, one nation, a one world government, and we use
Mm.
all of our technology and shit to make sure nobody's hungry. Nobody is, you know what I'm saying, sick. We can, or I
Yeah,
mean, I don't mean like a utopia, right? Like there's still going to be problems.
problems, but
But
we
let's
could we
let's
could think
let's
globally and we could think collectively.
yes, and
However,
locally as well. But
yeah,
like, to me, like, what if we banded the world together, right? Instead of using the capitalist machine for to just increase the profits of a select few, like capitalism, in my opinion, is not the problem.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Like Fonte Coleman said it. Why rage against the machine when you could just unplug it?
mhm,
It's not the machine that's the problem, it's the motherfuckers at the wheel.
mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So, like at this point, I would recommend that we take a look at maybe, perchance, some of the methods utilized in the oh so magnificently wonderful French Revolution.
Would you
Just saying, oh, it's cool when the French do it.
down
Like
with
without the
tyranny?
French Revolution, we wouldn't have modern democracy.
Yes,
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe them white boys on January 6th weren't wrong about the guillotine out there on the Capitol steps. They just
but
had the timing off. They you know what I'm saying? They brought a knife to a gunfight. No, I'm sorry, that was white people. There will never be guns.
no, but it's not the method that I'm pausing. It is the reality of the French Revolution and what the implications of January 6th were. It's not we are radically we as the people are radically taking up arms to create unity and fairness
Right.
for
All right. Now
like
you're
even if those are the espoused rhetorical goals of it, the actual thing is one evil competitive white regime supplanting another for its own purpose. Whatever system is in place, somebody is going to be on the outside getting dog shitted on. And me
yes.
as a black person in this society, no matter
I
which
don't want that.
side those
All
crackers
right,
are.
all
I
right,
know,
all right, all right,
like,
right.
do I
So,
want Democratic racism or do I want Republican racism? Because
well, all right. If you look at the Lumbee Indians, right?
Mhm.
If you look at the history of the Lumbee Indians, down there in like the Fayetteville, Robeson County area of North Carolina, right?
Yeah,
They never made it onto the Dawes Rolls in the 1850s.
what are the Dawes rolls?
So the Dawes Rolls, DAWES, these are the government. So at a certain point, the US government said, all right, when it comes to the Native Americans, right,
Hmm.
we're going to put y'all on y'all's own lands. These reservations will become dependent sovereignties, right?
Hmm.
Uh, so y'all basically kind of be like mini nations within a nation, right? But in order for us to do that, you got to be recognized by us, the US government, as real Indians.
Hmm.
So this is where blood quantum and joining the Cherokee Nation and all that stuff today
Are
is
you
that
free
that's
if
how
your
all of that
captor
is
has
working,
is
right?
dictating the terms of your freedom?
So if you, well, of your freedom and how of your freedom, because
Yeah,
it's
your
really about
sovereignty.
how you're going to be recognized.
How
You
can
see
I
what I'm
be
saying?
sovereign if you tell me what are within the parameters of
You,
my
it,
sovereignty?
you dig. So, unless you just make me a child,
Mhm.
because children are sovereign, but they're not sovereign. Like they can't
Having
sign.
agency and sovereignty are not the same thing.
Mhm. That's true. So this is what I'm saying. The Lumbee Indians, since they didn't make the Dawes Rolls in the 1850s,
Mhm.
they've been trying to exist down in Fayetteville area of North Carolina since then and maintain their Lumbee Indian culture, right?
Mhm.
But there was definite public policy at various times since the 1850s where they're like, you got to get an American birth certificate and you can't have no Indian name on it.
Mhm.
So I've read a couple of books that detail how these Lumbee Indians, since the mid 1800s to today, some days they were pro-black, depending on the public policy of that time.
Mhm.
They used that to maintain, let's say, their Lumbee school.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Or sometimes they were anti-black
Mhm.
if that allowed them to maintain their Lumbee, quote unquote churches,
It's
whatever,
yeah.
places of worship, right? Negotiation strategies. This is going back to what we were talking about before. When do I don't want to just survive anymore. I want to,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I want to thrive to a certain degree. And I think that right now we are in a situation where with whiteness, how it's operating and everything, whiteness is acting like this right now because too many black folks made it into the middle class after the 1980s for these
Mhm.
white folks liking.
Yeah.
Enough got in that it infected enough that them black folks in on your pickleball courts,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and at your
Mhm.
PCA meetings, and you know what I'm saying, this and that. When your local Jack and Jill chapter brings in more money than your like local daughters, I'm not Daughters of the Eastern Stars. What's the joint for white people? Shriners and
Yeah.
whatever. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they had the indecency to elect Obama twice.
Well, I mean, all right,
This
but
is
that
this
goes.
is whiteness is unsophisticated, educated, inferior, inselected, pro-violence response.
So this is their Hegelian antithesis to the thesis of whatever whatever integration and equality we're trying to get to, whatever the civil rights movement brought us. This is
What?
that antithetical backlash that will eventually create a synthesis.
Well, no. So I would argue that
Because
whiteness is the thesis,
well, in
but these
Hegelian dialectic,
represent.
it keeps happening over and over again.
Yes, yes.
They keep
Because according to the
modifying one another.
dialectic, there's no other way for it to happen,
Yeah,
right?
like civil rights is modifying racism, but racism is modifying civil rights. You see,
So
we're at a stage in the cycle. Is my
yeah,
point.
yes. So what happens is the cycle. Okay, I want you to think of it like this. On them Hot Wheels tracks, that you can insert a little piece that's got two like spinning tires on the side.
Yeah.
So when the car comes and hits it, that it makes contact with the tires and it just shoots it out, right? It shoots the
Hmm.
car down the track. So it's an accelerant. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
That is how all of this ideological malarkey that we all got this like, or it's like Althusser would talk about ideological state apparatus, right?
What does that mean?
There is an ideology that everybody's got to accept in order for a society to run.
Okay. Yeah.
The Hobbes and Locke social contract kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah. Yeah.
idea, right? So basically saying that, I mean, and Althusser was a French Marxist, but he was basically saying that state apparatus, there is an ideological state apparatus, just like there's a repressive state apparatus if you don't get down with the ideological state apparatus,
Yes. If you
right?
don't
So if
buy
you
this
do
Coca-Cola,
not get down,
tax is coming.
you will be punished,
Yeah.
right? So you have the ISA and the RSA. And that's the way he could say it. But I'm just like, if you look at it though, culture is a belief, society is a belief, law, public policy, all these things only exist because we believe in them.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Beliefs can be betrayed at any given moment. And we're dealing with a system that has shown us that betrayal of these beliefs, of these proclamations, is generally going to be one of the first 15 cards that they play
Yes.
every hand.
Every hand, all the time. And they create this balance of power where, and again, back to why I'm parsing out white persons and whiteness.
Okay.
Most white persons
Mhm.
get shitted by whiteness just like everybody else. But in
No,
the
not just
narrative,
like everybody else.
listen, not just like everybody else. Well, just like everybody else.
Everybody's
In that,
getting
and
okay.
everybody's getting shitted on. This is
Well,
what I
I'm
mean, just
saying
like
though, but we
everybody else.
sell shit. There's no way for us not to get shit on us.
My
The
point is,
question is, where are we in the supply
white
chain?
people stand on that, on the system as it is, because the narrative is that it's benefiting them. Meanwhile, bitch, you ain't got shoes. And you got a billionaire telling you that the future of you and your kids is in coal mining. My
Yeah.
point is, most white people are 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 talking about like using this academic language of white privilege.
Mhm.
And what is not lining up is you're saying you have white privilege to a not white motherfucker who is bodying you in the economy. This is how you, in order to create a compensatory space for yourself, you have to create this foreign invader who is taking your job. In
Yes.
order to,
Yes, yes, yes,
because you
yes.
know you're in a state of the narrative where you can't say, I'm a fucking incompetent person, or you can't say, this whole system is set up that I don't win. And you can't say, well, you know what? That person who ain't supposed to win better than me is bodying the shit out of me right now. So
So
you
okay,
create this narrative of you've been disenfranchised by the rules. It's set up against you. And now, white people, you a motherfucking victim? It's bullshit. But
it
it's
is
real
bullshit, but
shit in so much as you was getting shitted by the thing we was complaining about too. You're just now recognizing it. Have you not noticed how in the last 10 years the right and the left have kind of, although they're talking about two different things, they're supposedly going to two different places, but
Mhm.
everybody hates the police right now. Nobody trusts the government right now. Everybody feels like they're getting
Bro,
shitted
think about it.
economically.
The most virulent anti-government folks over the last 15 years, right? Let's just say since 2000, so since Clinton, right? Those are the ones that are the most strongly adhered to Trump. Like it's this is what I'm saying.
It,
So look, this is what I'm saying. I agree with you with white people, whiteness, and you understand where I'm coming
yeah,
from.
yeah, yeah.
Use it, right? But my thing is like this. If you look at the history of America for the last 250 years and how white folks and the system of whiteness has
Mhm.
operated in our day to day and our overarching, like socially influencing institutions, right?
Mhm.
There is a clear and stated track record of fuck you. Oh, your house burned down? Fuck you, pay me. Oh, your child just got shot by the police in the street, but you still got to go to work on Monday? Fuck you, pay me. Right? It's a privilege that I gave you this job.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Like we celebrate the job creators more than the labor. And if the
Mhm.
person who worked, like I just saw this on Facebook the other day and it spoke to my soul. If hard work really paid off, the donkey would own the farm.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I apparently I'm an ass. You understand what I'm saying? Like, but my thing is this white on white clash that needs to happen or whatever, they got a clean house, bro. Because like if you look at their history, these folks have acted barbarically
Yeah.
for an extended amounts of time. And there's never been any conversation about it. There's never been any, like, they still hold in their hearts, they have a belief that they have a high moral ground to everybody.
And
You know what I'm saying?
everything.
Now, this is the thing. This is how, coming back to what you were talking about, they could not have this high moral ground if they don't have an antithetical boogeyman.
Yes.
It is all belief. So if I can get you, so like this is the thing about white conservative whites, right? I could
Mhm.
go in there right now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as long as I say the right things and I act the right way, they will accept me with open damn arms.
Mhm.
Treat me like a son they never had, right? I would have
As
never
long as
taken
you're
one
on
of you Indian
code.
fellers to be this
Yeah.
understanding and worldly and knowledgeable of
Yeah.
how America's this boy's true blue. You understand?
But you have to hit the language markers. Yeah.
I can do that. You can do that. Anybody who was born and raised not white in America has been already taught how to do that.
That's what I'm saying. Whiteness
Right?
isn't just what we call white people. There are people standing in the gap of whiteness who are you wouldn't physically call white, but you talk to them for 5 minutes, they white as shit. We joke about black crackers, but that's really a thing. Vernacularly,
Yeah.
we are explaining a real thing that we're seeing that's operating in real time and has happened throughout the discourse, throughout the history of this country.
I'm not even
Where,
gonna lie to you, bro. If you kind of think about it from a certain, because you and I have read a lot of the
yeah,
same African American
yeah,
literature. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
if you kind of look at it, the system is set up to have more people that are not white agents of whiteness
absolutely.
than in the contrary.
Yeah.
You know
Remember,
what I'm
this
saying?
this
So,
thing was started by a minority of white people controlling a majority of human beings.
bro, they got to choose to be better people. You understand me? They got
Mhm.
to choose it. We can't make them choose it. We can't show them. We
You
can't
can't
like
moralize them.
like
Yeah,
be like there's nothing that can be done. This is going to sound crazy because this is what I really want you to think about. If you look in terms of mass like genocide, right?
hmm, yeah.
The descendants of the German tribes have never been genocided, and the Persians have never been fully genocided. Everybody else has been Auschwitz.
Genocide.
You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying?
yeah. So
But
they need to be humbled.
I mean, I ain't going front, bro. There might need to be a Hiroshima and Nagasaki over here before these white folks will understand that, damn it, we all human beings trying to do something.
Yeah,
I ain't got to work for you. You ain't got to work for me. And rights ain't pie. Like, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, it doesn't have to be this binary. It doesn't have to be the thesis and antithesis. We can look to the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes the Caribbean so crazy to me, interesting, is that they were literally like, so all the enslaved folks, this includes folks from Africa, from the continent of Africa,
Hmm.
Indian folks, Chinese folks, Arawak Indians, Taino Indians, and Hispanics, right?
Hmm.
So you got like seven different languages in the Caribbean. They've spent 200 something years in this plantation system as slaves, right? And then one day the white folks was like, you know what, y'all? Today, yesterday you were slaves. Tomorrow you're going to be Jamaicans. We're out. And the white people just left. No, 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 no. I mean, for the most part, and they
Yeah,
literally just left these spaces on their own. Like, yeah, you're part of the Commonwealth. You got to pay us these taxes. Da 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 da.
give
Here's a
us money.
basic. But like Eric Williams, right? Capitalism and slavery,
Yeah.
right? He was an economist and turned out to be Trinidad and Tobago's first president.
Mm.
They like he I've read his writings. Like, he was just like, yeah, man, these are like we had to build society from
Tidy up.
scratch. And we had to come up with all of these ideological state apparatus.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, but what are we going to believe
Oh,
in? And
what
so
do
we had to create that shit ourselves. I liken that to Kwanzaa.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As a cultural practice, hey man, this is about whether or not you're going to believe it or not. Do you want to practice?
You-
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
not
Like,
about when it started, it's about what the belief system means.
yeah, because how do you get a culture if you don't have things for people to believe in?
Yeah.
Right? That's how culture operates. So it's a like it's a this is where we are, right? These white folks, you got white folks that are happy as long as they eat.
Hmm.
And they'll use their eating to justify and condone any other type of behavior. And that's
Mm.
just what it is. Morality and ethics are just terms to be played with. They are shields for these people.
Yes.
You understand
Yes.
what I'm saying? But they are not tangible things because at any given opportunity, your enemy is going to try to screw you. You remember this back in grad school. I had this idea where I was like, so you as a black man in America, me as an Indian guy growing up in America, whatever. I was like, so the difference is you've got a wood screw in your back and I've got a machine screw in mine.
Mm.
What's the difference between a wood screw and a machine screw? How the threads bite. So, like in a
Mhm.
wood screw, the threads are going to be spaced out and more spirally. In a
Mhm.
machine screw, the threads are going to be real close together, right?
Yeah.
Why are me and you arguing about whose screw is more painful when they're both can
Both
be
work
turned by
together.
a flathead screwdriver?
Hmm.
Who's got the tools?
Yeah.
We need to go
That's
have
the
a
question.
conversation with this
But
cat, right?
yeah.
And that is to me, this kind of comes back to like where you said my overall intellectual thing is. This is where academic disciplines, I think, hinder us.
Hmm.
If you can keep your academic insights, your intellectual insights,
Hmm.
they have to fit into these boxes, then
Hmm.
you never escape the binary.
Hmm.
You understand? You never escape the Hegelian dialect because they're keeping you on their home court, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you look at like Kamal Braithwaite, you know what I'm saying, and his idea of dialectics, right?
Hmm.
The ocean is about the most, like, water is the thing that humans require,
Hmm.
right? Why base this on a 1-0? Well, why base our worldviews on a 1-0 when we can go with the tides where things change, but only in form?
Hmm.
See what I'm saying? The water doesn't change, it's just a wave, right?
Hmm.
It's just the water. The water is the water, but how it expresses over long, like dialectics. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got a different metaphor if you want.
Let me hear.
All right. You got a big old bowl full of very still water, right? So it's
Hmm.
about yay big. And you drop a pebble into the middle. It's going to send out concentric ripples.
Yes.
After that first wave of concentric ripples gets out to the perimeter of the bowl, what's going to happen? Those
Those
ripples
nipples
are they're going to
shoot
return to
back.
the
Yeah.
center, right, in the path that they
Yeah.
travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So while they're traveling back, the second
Second
wave of
waves.
ripples is coming out. These two sets of ripples will intermingle for a second
And then go
and
through it.
keep it moving.
Hmm.
Do you see how that can unsettle the Hegelian dialectic?
Yes.
This doesn't
Yes.
have to be binaries. We
And
can
the
literally create a society if we were, I mean, if I was smarter or stronger or something, I don't know. But like we could try to build a society based on win-win versus
Lose. Yeah.
we happen to win,
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
right?
mhm.
I
Well,
would argue that's what Judith Butler was talking about, you know what I'm saying, in Precarious Life. Like it's we don't have to play this game this way. This is just the way that we've been playing it for so long that it feels like it's in our DNA.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
They make us feel like it's biological or just like
it's
a
innate. It's natural.
natural
Yeah.
law.
Yeah. We
But
have to, or immutable. But why can't you have sustainable economics? Why does scarcity have to be the rule when
why?
scarcity for us does not exist in the same way scarcity existed for somebody in 1600s put in a
Correct.
wilderness with a
By
musket?
far.
But we're
By
still operating on that logic.
because damn, this is
But
a full.
it causes you to
Remember when I
just
said in the
yeah,
why do we got to be Hegel and Marx?
yeah,
Like I'm tired of
yeah,
putting it
yeah,
on
yeah. In that
points
paradigm,
of
yeah.
fixed points, right? Intellectually, this is the best they've ever been.
It's
I love my baby mother. I'll never let her go. Right. That's the see. This is the thing, though. In my opinion, the intellectual prowess of whiteness, right,
yeah.
of this Euro-American white supremacy system is retarded in the adolescent thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I want a cookie. Give me the cookie. It's my cookie. I don't want to share it with you. No, I want the cookie. And then they
Mm-hmm.
go and rape your children and kill your parents in front of you and then take the cookie.
And tell you why. And then after they do it, explain why it all made sense. Yep.
Hey, man, that's what it is. This is the thing that we're dealing with. This is a level of irrationality. Like these people don't, they haven't shown me yet that they individually, yes, but as a collective, no. They want me to take chemo to cure their cancer.
Pretty much.
Fuck out of here, bro. Let, let
I've
them
been.
let them fight against each other. Like what needs to happen? Real talk. Everybody needs to leave America.
Mm,
Okay. If you've ever felt like a hyphenated citizen of America, you see what I'm saying?
mm.
Leave America. Let the white people duke it out. We'll see which whites win and then decide if we want to come back. You understand? Because I don't know which side of the whites is going to be standing. You know what I'm saying? It could be
That's what I'm
the
saying.
Europeans
Like
or it could be the Hellmans. Like
the,
we, uh,
the crazy mean weird ones is kind of whooping
I mean, but they say there's nothing like a wounded liberal. They're
we'll
they're they're
see.
scrappy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Fight back, Pete Buttigieg. Fight back, Pete.
yo, I'm just, bro. Look, man, we in an empire. Like we're trying to figure out how to bring down the Great Wall of China with two ball peen hammers. Ding,
Mhm.
ding. Like that's all we doing, bro. My fifth grade band teacher said the greatest thing about beating your head against a brick wall is when you stop. And they still need my labor. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I
Mhm.
understand that what the cost my labor comes with. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But so I mean, I get it, but I'm just trying my best, whichever ways that I can find to be subversive,
Mhm.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying? Like for example, I'm never going to pay back my student loans.
I feel you. There was a time in the United States, public education was conceived to be a free thing because it is a public good to have an educated, trained citizenry.
So was
However, mid 20th century, somebody said, "Yo, I could, like you to your point, I could make some money off of that." Then somebody also said, "Do we really want a bunch of smart motherfuckers? We just want motherfuckers who go to work and buy shit."
yeah,
Here's what we'll do to the really smart ones: we'll put them in wage slavery
yeah,
or debt slavery.
yeah.
You got in order to get a PhD, you got to run it up. I don't care. Like it ain't just surgeons. If like
Oh,
if you're a school teacher, if you're an English teacher like we are, you what you're gonna be doing, you're gonna run up a a surgeon's bill in terms of education, but you're gonna be getting paid like a school teacher. It don't add up.
I think the last time I looked, and this is crazy. This is crazy. The last time I looked, I think I could own a fleet of 1985 cocaine white Lamborghini Countaches.
With what you paid to educate yourself. Fair enough. Yeah. But
One
I
of them's
mean, we're
got a better resale value than the other, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. These are choices. But I mean, but at the same time, like I said, man, I knew that if I went into get well, okay, this is the way I look at it. The world that we live in, to go back to these binaries, you can make money or you can help people.
Mhm.
Very few times do the two meet.
Yeah.
Because in our current, the way we practice capitalism right now, everything is pie, right?
Mhm.
Everything is on the scarcity model. So either you about making money
Or you're about helping people.
or you can be about the people.
Yeah.
And you can't say a politician does both because I don't think politicians have ever helped the people.
I don't think
You
so.
know what I'm saying?
It
Like
is not a it is not a coincidence that most politicians are broke until they become politicians.
until they become politicians, right? So I mean, it's we in it, we can't get out of it. I think that naming it is important though.
Mhm.
Like real talk. I think that for more academic, especially black academics, black and not white academics,
Mhm.
I think need to come together more often from an inter and multidisciplinary perspective
Mhm.
to better define whiteness.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be its own like category. It doesn't have to be like critical white studies or, you know, post-colonial studies or whatever, right?
It
But I
can't
think
just be
that,
the center of normalcy without being interrogated.
yes. So it's like in post-colonial theory, like for the British Empire, London was the metropole. Sorry. You know, London was considered the metropole of the empire, right?
Mhm.
So London was the center of the universe for people in Kenya, in India, in China, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, right?
Mhm.
How do we not interrogate the metropole? That
Yes.
is the center of the web, right?
Mhm.
That's my point.
That's
Like,
where we're at. We have
that's
to
where we're at. And I think that if we could, I think we could start by trying to get a tight definition, not necessarily on how we, as these scholars, will use the definition,
yeah.
but if our work is supposed to be arced towards liberatory praxis,
Mhm.
then we've got to get on the same page on some basic elements because we're all
Mhm.
talking about the same system. We're just talking about it from our varied viewpoints.
Mm. So we're all pointed to the same car accident, but we got a different perspective of
Close on the metaphor, not we're all pointing at the same alien spaceship that is blotting out the sun
it. Okay.
from
Yeah.
our different sections of our
The word. Yeah.
metropolis.
Yeah. Yeah.
You say, what the? You know, it's
Yeah.
just like, hey, come out here and see this. Like it. That's what we're dealing with.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
but the problem is we like, and that's the thing that I've always liked about what's your boys, Stokely Carmichael,
Mhm.
because Stokely Carmichael was able to use class exploitation to unify seemingly disparate, groups, socioeconomic and racial groups of people.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was a genius move at that time. In what was that, the 70s?
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Multicultural, uh, multi-class
But
coalitions.
it's the commonalities in the acts of dispossession.
If you can find a commonality that cut across the ideological separations that
Yeah.
you keep this power system going,
Well,
you can
yeah,
create a hedge against it.
but you realize though, even that is giving the people something to believe in, prepackaged.
Yes,
You
yes.
can't-
Like
right,
whenever
right. So we
the
can't. So this is what I'm saying. We can't escape that, right? but we do have some control over what we put in our product. We, you understand what I'm saying? Our object is not to make money, it's to help people learn
Live.
for the
Yeah, yeah,
better,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
So that's what H-Rap Brown, I mean H-Rap Brown, that's what Stokely Carmichael was putting out there, right? He was presenting a message that people could latch onto ideologically, right?
Mm-hmm.
In their own way, but it shows this common thread of dispossession, of exploitation, of being chewed up and spit out by a machine that expects you to treat your children to be fed into the machine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Fuck your instincts for parenthood. You got to set your children up to suffer too.
Yeah. We my friend joke, well, it's not a joke, but he's saying it seriously to his kid. Like when he turns 18. Your slavery is your own now. I've shepherded you through slavery up until
Woo!
this point. Your slavery is your own
So hard.
now. But
Oh,
that's
that's so
real.
hard. Yeah, bro. Oh, because like I'm struggling right now. So the kids, they start high school like next week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're sending them to the rich, old money in my county, white boy rich,
Yeah.
right? So this is all agrarian out
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, on the outskirts. We're sending them to that high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, y'all about to get called the N-word for real.
For real. Like, it is gonna be two ways. One, hey, what's up, man? And look at them ends.
But
Yeah.
this is the crazy part. So like as the Indian, I can't have the conversation with them. But as per the rules, I didn't make them. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. But it's like I'm caught because I'm like, do I talk to them about it when it hasn't been an issue yet? You see what I'm saying? Or do I try to prepare them for something that's still going to hurt regardless?
Regardless.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, and so to me, that my inability to answer that question leads me back to this system is a self-replicating system. It
Yes.
runs, it is, I don't understand why they say there's no such thing as perpetual motion machine. Look at it
For
runs
real.
and feeds and sustains itself,
Yeah.
and it just keeps doing this. And sometimes it might have to go big because of some technological advance. Sometimes it might have to constrict, but damn it,
Like, to your
that
point,
that's
to
that's all they
even to
do.
your example, like you telling your kids how to counteract it is in a way reifying. They had no knowledge of this, but you preparing them keeps it going. But if you don't, it keeps it going. You see what I'm saying? Like if you don't prepare them, it's still gonna.
I
There's a great chance that it's gonna happen to them, and then they're just caught unprepared, and that's what the system wanted.
so
But if you give them the extra speech, and having to give them the extra speech, that's building up the system too and perpetuating it. You see what I'm saying? It's a
so
catch
this
22.
this is one. Okay, so point number one. Excuse me. Hold on. Point number one. Do you drink from the poisoned well coming out of the desert?
Yeah.
Right. Point number two. I think that is the difference between survival and negotiation. In
Mm-hmm.
times where you can't win, it doesn't matter which one, like, you know what I'm saying, six in one hand, half a dozen in the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I tell them or don't tell them, I'm still reifying this system that's going to hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
There's no escape, right? There's no right answer. That's a survival situation.
Yeah.
In situations where I'm able to come up on a come up,
You got to take
that's
that chance. So
negotiation.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm trying to teach them both. And the fact that we got to teach them both, in my opinion, is one of the greatest travesties of the 21st century. Like, we could be a much different set of human beings,
Mm-hmm.
right? If we just, in the, what album was that on? I think that was on a Big Boy album. If we just stop lying.
Oh yeah, that's
You
true.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
Room was saying it,
Yeah.
but like, if we just stop lying, You
Mm,
got more people thinking they going to heaven off of the lies that they done told.
mm,
What? Come on,
mm.
boss. Like,
You going to heaven and you put a kid in a cage, make that make sense. What heaven is that? Because I'm staying away from that motherfucking heaven. Don't put me on that trip.
that's my thing, man. Like, I don't want no parts of their heaven or hell.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes for the like the Muslims, the Buddhists, the Hindu, like everybody's got their own thing, but these white folks right now, and I'm making no distinction between
Yeah.
whiteness in America, Australia, Europe, and Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got this lion thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of their identity and their action is rooted in hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm.
Action and deed don't, action and word don't
Heaven,
match. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And so there, you know what I'm saying? I really got to go to James Baldwin. I can't believe what you say because I done seen what you did. You know what I'm saying? Like, but and furthermore, you want me to treat you the way you see
See, it's so
yourself. No, I
Anjan, I got cancer. Take this pill. That's
yeah, can't do it. That's the reason why, like, even at my HBCU, I'm about to get
yeah.
fired. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's because like corporate professionalism
Mm-hmm.
just code for white.
That's definitely what it is. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking? Like, I mean, I choose not to. I try my best not to have to engage with that level of whiteness in my
Yeah.
day-to-day life if I can.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier when I say agency. How we're all born into it. And
Mhm.
recognizing it as the problems and in it don't make those problems go away. But the agency comes in and okay, how do I deal with it? Do I take do I use my left foot or my right foot? Like
Yeah,
you may have two fucked up choices to make, but you still got a choice.
but you still got a choice and you got to make it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Because if you don't make it, that automatically makes you complicit.
Mm-hmm.
Like at that point, you just, you know what I'm saying, plug me back in the matrix, boss.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And I get that. And you know what though? At the same time, for those people that operate that way, I can't be mad at them.
Like the people who just want steak, like
Yeah,
I just
because
like the
I
way steak
understand that
tastes.
too, man. Like the ability to have a roof over your head and to eat the
Yeah.
food that you want to eat and sleep in the bed that you want to sleep in or whatever, whatever. I can't understate the importance of that
Yeah.
enough. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not trying to understate it. Like these are very valid human motivators.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get it. I'm not mad at you and I'm not judging. The
No.
only people that I'm judging for real, who's sitting at the controls of these machines?
Mm-hmm.
How are they using these machines? For
Mm-hmm.
what purpose? At what cost? And history is telling us time and time again. You're familiar with the water cycle, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to picture the water cycle in your head. The sun is the government.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry, the sun is corporations. The clouds is the government, and we are the groundwater. Okay.
uh,
The people, the sun is supposed to evaporate us, right?
mm-hmm.
We eventually condense into clouds, but the sun can burn through the clouds as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? What's actually happening is that the sun, the government, is sending us straight to the corporation.
I thought the government was the clouds.
Oh, damn, it works better if I can draw it. All right, so yo, here,
But
here.
I get
No,
what
no,
you.
no, no. You're right. I messed up. I messed up. You got the sun, the clouds, and the ground, right?
Yeah.
Sun, like we got groundwater, the corporation, it shines on us. We give up our dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the process, that like we never float all the way back up to the sun to get burned into eternity. We coalesce somewhere in the clouds,
Into
right?
the clouds.
That's the government. So the government is supposed to be like an intermediary between the general population and the corporation. in
Mm.
the water cycle. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that ain't the way it operates. The only reason why the clouds rain is so the corporations can eat.
To make
Like,
more water for it to
yeah,
evaporate. Yeah.
that's it. Like the government is in cahoots with.
Oh,
Right?
definitely.
So that's another aspect of whiteness we should talk about is the unmitigated cahooting.
Of power, like
Like I'm just saying, from these folks, they love to damn be in cahoots. Like, everything is nefarious. Everything is behind the veil.
Giselle,
Everything is,
every
you know what I'm saying, shrouded halls of power and whatnot, all just to make your Tuesday worse.
they can't for white people to be the grand arc, like to present themselves in the United States as like the grand architects of civilization. They ain't civilized.
They
And
love some human suffering now.
the
Like,
man,
damn.
like the entire country is their arena.
Hmm.
Like the arena where everybody's fighting it out in gladiator sports. That's kind of like their sweet spot. If
Yeah.
everybody's milling around, going to work, handling their business, having fun, it gets under white people's skin. Something got to be. The fuck is
Oh,
going on?
Buffy, I'm bored.
Let's yeah, let's just
Throw
see.
a tornado at them. You know what I'm saying? Like, shut up.
It's Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man, the opening scene where the protagonist wants to he give his valedictorian speech and gets invited by the bankers, the most important men in the
Oh
city,
yeah,
to
yeah,
give
yeah.
his
The
speech.
battle royale scene.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I remember now. Yeah. You
we
said
don't give a
Invisible
fuck
Man.
about that society bullshit. Get out there and fucking fight against these motherfuckers for this fake ass money.
Because I'm bored.
Cause I'm bored.
Like I'm telling you, man, there's a lack of morality in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so I mean, this is a weird segue, but this lack of morality within whiteness is
Mhm.
what I believe is one of the issues that needs to be addressed in our black male students.
Go with that.
And this is why. To me, blackness in America has always been heavily influenced by the pressures exerted on it by whiteness.
Absolutely.
Like black masculinity, black femininity, whatever, has never been allowed to grow like
On its own
organically.
terms.
It's always been in a pressure cooker, right? If white masculinity is this vapid,
Mhm.
then black masculinity is going to be impacted by the largesse of the vapidity. I don't know if that's a real word or not. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? It's going to be impacted, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that like if we could, when it comes to these black male students, especially the ones that I see, you know what I'm saying, on the university level, we I think that we need to come up with like a unified, almost like a Boy Scout oath of black masculinity,
Mm.
like characteristics that every young black man can be like,
Code of
so like,
conduct
so like, yeah, yeah, code of conduct.
or
But
rules of engagement. Yeah.
in Boy Scouts, it was like, as a scout, I will, on my honor, do my best to do my duty to God of my country, to,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then a scout is loyal, confident, brave, thrifty, da da da. You know, you see what I'm saying? There, in my opinion, is not a, I don't think there exists just some laws of nature, rules of manhood for black kids in America.
Not as a not as a cross cultural code. Yeah. Yeah. I get. Yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from? And I'm sorry if my vocabulary is inspecific, right?
No. No. No.
But
I'm wrapping my head around it. But yeah.
but it's like, so like to me, this goes back again to the Caribbean, right? These cats had to build their own culture
Mhm.
after the colonizing powers left, and Jamaica became Jamaica, and St. Croix became St. Croix, and I mean, you see what I'm saying? So it's like with that culture building, there has to be like touchstones. You know what I'm saying? So like to me, I've started thinking from the terms of what do I want to see in any man that I ever come across?
Mhm.
Could I distill it? You know what I'm saying? So I've come up with four basic things that across the men that I've known across in my life, right?
Mhm.
Character, integrity, discipline, and work ethic.
Mhm.
Do you have a code? Have I ever seen you with a code, like in life,
Yeah.
right? Do you have integrity? Have I seen you stick to your code when there was a lot in life telling you to take that left turn, right?
Mhm.
Discipline. Cannot have I ever seen you make yourself go to work?
Mhm.
And work ethic. While at the job that you didn't feel like going to, did you do a good job?
Yeah.
Those are four basic qualities that, in my opinion, transcend class, race, gender identity. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, whatever. These are just four qualities of just being a good person.
Well,
Like,
in this society, we've done that. Especially like 100 years ago, as college educated men, we'd have
mm,
probably been having this same conversation, and men did. In fact, both of our organizations did exactly what you just
the
did.
rationale is different, though. See, 'cause I'm assuming you're about to go into the respectability politics of it, right?
but okay, but not as a pejorative,
Right, right, no, 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 no. No, I'm not using it as a
as a
pejorative
practical
either, but
logic,
right, but
trying to
so
understanding that okay, we have to figure out a way
mhm,
to create what Sutton Griggs calls collective efficiency, meaning
right.
collective action. But in order to do so, we have to have what you're saying, a collective code
Yeah,
of morality and value that we can dispense amongst us so we know how to control
yeah,
our behavior.
yeah. It's the same thing that the Nation
Yeah,
of Islam does, the same thing that the Black Panthers did. Like,
that's
yeah.
what the
So,
what the Black Greek organizations did
right,
or attempted to do.
but the context was different.
How so?
So, 100 years ago, Black folks were trying to prove their humanity to these dense white people.
Yeah.
Okay. Today, the problem that our kids, in my opinion, are facing is that they are not, their humanity is not in question. It's about whether or not they accept the mold. Will they
Mm-hmm.
step into that mold?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But if they, but they're young and they don't understand that there are options to stepping into that mold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can step into the mold and maybe you can form your body to, at least let it give you a little bit more wiggle room or something. I mean,
Yeah.
it's whatever code we come up with, right? Or if
Mm-hmm.
you want to, if you were to look at it as a political party or platform, right?
Yeah.
I think that if we can make it humanist, if we can make it democratic, if we can make it based in parity, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we can do that and just have then game recognizes game. Now we're back to Stokely Carmichael. We've done found the thing. Truly good people will gravitate towards this, and truly bad people will do everything in their power to destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's so it's like I think if we can give it to our kids now, then maybe like our great grandkids might have built a collective or a more unified sense of no, this is what we want for ourselves
Mm-hmm.
as Black men in this bullshit.
Yeah.
And
We
we are
have a
going to go
stake.
out here and we are going to carve out our own space, much
Mm-hmm.
like you know what I'm saying, like a marooned community,
Yeah.
marinage,
Yeah.
something like yeah, this will give them the ability to create their own communities and collectives down the road.
On their
But we
own
got to
time.
start with the belief structure. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm like, that's real talk. That's what I'm trying to like get. There's a scholar, Ruha Benjamin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin. Sorry, there's no R. Um, she wrote a book called Hope, a Manifesto, in which she's basically saying that if hope is a future facing imaginary, then there are no rules to govern it.
It can be whatever it wants to be.
So we can let go of Hegelian dialectics.
Mm.
We can let go of whatever absolute binaries and
you
whatever
you have to
blase
follow.
skip that is currently in our worldview. We can exercise those demonic entities in our spirits,
Mhm.
and we can ascend to the Wakandan ancestral plane. You know what I'm saying? Like we can, you know what I'm saying? Now I get to talk to Boston, my great granddad, and I get pearls of wisdom, and I come back to life feeling better than ever, ready to handle the trials and tribulations of the day, right?
Mm,
We can build that ideologically for our children because it's nothing more than a system of belief.
mm. And
And if I
record.
can't get my kids to believe in the shit that I'm saying, that I'm a shit parent. And I should hang up this particular dream of trying to change the world for the better. You know what I'm saying? Like it just ain't gonna happen. I don't have it in me. I tried though, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't beating my head against that brick wall no more.
Well, okay, last question, Anjan.
Yes, sir.
Since you're sharing your Saturday morning with me, uh, where are you? Since you touched on Wakanda, I wanted to hit on that before I leave because you are
All
doing
right.
some very interesting work in the world of Wakanda. And y'all, if you think that academics is nothing but just boring books, you do get the chance to have fun, even doing
Right.
serious stuff.
Yeah. If you can.
You're
And but it's only fun in the fact that it's Black Panther.
you're using
Like
back
it ain't none of the rest
all
of
of
it.
this deep stuff you're talking about. You're using Black Panther in the world of Wakanda to do it. To me, that's fun as
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's
Like
fair.
your research is watching Black Panther. Like that's a huge part. Like
Yeah.
and
I need
really
to read.
like,
I'm gonna have to read all the comic books at some point. I'm gonna have to.
oh my God, you are being beat up by this system of
Uh,
white supremacy.
well, I mean,
Like
at least it ain't Shakespeare. You
that's
understand
what
what
I'm
I'm saying? At least
saying.
I ain't got to read the sonnets
You're not it's
or
not
Ezra
we're not in
Pound.
the same space and places that we used to be in. To your point, there's a way to negotiate your agency within fighting the oppression.
All day, all
So
day.
to that point, what is the Wakandan idea? If you could summarize it.
All right. So, and this is so you know what I'm saying, like this is without reading the comic books. This is
Yeah,
solely based on like the current Black Panther media franchise.
yeah.
So you got Black Panther 1, Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. And then
Mm,
in 2025, you've got a novel called The Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda and the TV series on Disney Plus. That thing is out right now, The Eyes of Wakanda,
yeah.
right? So when you put these four pieces together, you actually cover a 2,500 year timeline
Mm,
that leaves Earth and goes into space and other galaxies and planets and people and whatever too, right?
mm,
Eyes of Wakanda actually happens first if you put it on the timeline because it's the
yeah.
stories of, let's say, like, so I think in the first episode, uh, there's a black dude who's fighting alongside Achilles
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the siege of Troy, right?
Yeah.
And then if you look in a lot of these Roman and ancient Greek stories or whatever, there's always a black guy that's a best friend. There's always a
Yeah.
bag of fans,
Yeah.
right? Eyes of Wakanda is basically saying making all of them Wakandan agents trying to steal back vibranium jewelry and
The
stuff and
culture
whatever,
was stolen
whatever.
from you. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or got lost in
Stolen Legacy is a subtext to that
yes, by
whole
far. I haven't even finished the
series.
series yet,
Yeah.
but like it's dope, right? So we got that. Then we move into Black Panther 1, which is the present, right? Black Panther 2, which is the present. And then you got the intergalactic empire of Wakanda, which imagines, all right, here we go. Present day T'Challa finds a wormhole or a space anomaly, sends up Wakandan astronauts. It turns out to be a wormhole. They get shot 2,000 years into the future. This is when T'Challa is with Storm,
Yeah.
right? They get shot 2,000 years into the future. In their attempts of recreating a Wakanda 2,000 years into the future out in space, they turn into the British Empire. T'Challa back home is like, oh my God, I've sent these men to their deaths or whatever. I got to go save them. So he is the Black Panther, gets in a spaceship, hits the wormhole, ends up 2,000 years into the future in space in another galaxy, and he gets caught by the Wakandan Empire and made a slave for
Slave.
mining. They
Damn.
wipe his mind, They wipe all of his memories. They put him through a Wakandan, you know what I'm saying, education system. They make him believe in Bast, but he doesn't remember who he is. He doesn't know who. And then it's Star Wars. He joins the rebellion,
Yeah.
Killmongers, Darth Vader. You see what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. Cool. 2,500 years. What this shows is if you took Wakanda as a real place, right? Like, and it
Mm-hmm.
had all these things. Wakanda was like the Lumbee Indians back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
When they saw what evil these white folks was putting out into the airwaves, they were like, the only way that we can survive is to trick these motherfuckers
Mm-hmm.
into believing we have no value.
Mm-hmm.
And that we can only exist in these walls, right? Forever.
Mm-hmm.
That shows that there is a globalized system of whiteness that goes some 500 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And what makes all of this interesting to me is all right. So if you take a look at the intergalactic, let's look at Black Panther as a character first. Black Panther and Wakanda comes from the imagination of two white men in US 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's when the comic book was invented
Yeah,
by
yeah,
Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, right?
yeah.
So this idea of a black liberatory character is already coming from a colonial metropole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second, so at that point, is Black Panther African American literature? Or because it's solely based in the continent, should it be considered African slash post-colonial literature? That's
Mm-hmm.
set of questions number one. Set of questions number two, Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda. The author is Nigerian born and raised, right?
Mm-hmm.
Came to the States to get his MFA, finished up his MFA in the States, and got the contract to turn Ta-Nehisi's six issue series comic book, Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, into a novel.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have the story invented by white folks, placed in Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was then rewritten by an African American that
Mm-hmm.
takes place in space that deals with colonialism that was turned into a novel by a Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
Is this African American literature? Is this post colonial literature? Is it African literature?
Holy
Is this
smoke.
American literature because it deals with the colonialization, right? Like
You get to have that
all
unpacking all
these
that. You get to talk about so
get all these different overlaps just based.
oh
So at this point, this comes back to my one of my original statements. They got us believing in these lanes so hard that we're
mm,
never able to cross communicate about
mm,
mutual dispossession.
ah aha
You know what I'm saying? Like, and
yeah
I've always felt that conversation. And I know people have tried it in the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? I know I sound like an idealist and all that type of stuff, but in the academy, we have
yeah
been taught disciplinary rigidity.
mm-hmm,
That is the Hegelian dialect.
mm,
You see what I'm saying? That's the dialectic. I mean, it's just like we don't have to operate this way. There are other ways to
yeah,
operate.
mm-hmm,
Why can't we at least give it a try? This one book, this one little novel, The Intergalactic Empire, shows it all
mm,
without even having to read it. Just knowing the backstory of the creators and the author raises interesting, like, disciplinary questions.
yeah.
Can a white man produce African
African
American
American literature.
literature?
And at that point, what is African American
Can
literature?
a black African produce African American literature? If you ask a white scholar, he can. If you ask a black scholar, he may not be able to.
Mm-hmm,
You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of identity politics that goes into all this. Like, and I think that Wakanda as a fiction, that's its power as an Afrofuturist piece,
Mm.
because it's speculative, we can bend the rules. You think that's air you're breathing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's that kind of matrix kind of situation.
Hmm.
We just have to take the bull by the horns and create it into what we need it to be as this like arena for thought exercises.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Because if we're trying to figure out a code that everybody can believe in, we got to figure out if this code is going to work
Yeah.
or if it makes sense for the people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where this, like, to me, speculative fiction and Afrofuturist writing, that's what makes it valuable.
Mm, I think so. Okay, so
Yeah.
once you're finished, you're finishing up this year, right?
I'm trying to, bro. I'm trying to. I sent my committee chair the Black Panther idea, and she was like, "I you can't do a literary studies thing on movies in one novel. We need to talk." And I was like, "Yeah, that's fair." So I'm working on it though. I got a good idea.
Uh,
Like
yeah, but all you got to do is bring in extra books. We can work.
no, so I
That
mean,
don't.
right now, what I'm doing right now is going back through the novel, and I'm trying to, so like I know there are themes of post-colonial Caribbean, Afrofuturist, and African American within the novel, right?
Mhm,
Within the intergalactic novel. I'm trying to think of two books per discipline, two novels per discipline that
mhm.
I can tie back to the Black Panther novel.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? And once I do that, I think that'll cover all my bases.
today.
Yeah. So I'm
So,
going to use Black Panther instead of the thing I'm examining. I'm going to use that as my springboard. And I'm basically going to say Afrofuturism by its nature is interdisciplinary.
boom. And so after you finish, you staying at T?
If they'll have me,
Yeah.
I would like to stay at T. I mean, I've made a career out of being underappreciated, underpaid, and undervalued. So, and I done
Don't
made it.
lead with that one in the negotiations.
Well, I'm just saying, I done made it this far, and I'm almost 50. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I got a good thing going.
Yeah. Why fuck up a good thing?
Yeah,
Just
you know what I'm
because
saying?
of,
Like, you know what I'm
eating?
saying? Wait, you think I'm living in this house with my credit score? Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, these are educated decisions out here. I got criteria.
John, thank you
My
for
man.
coming out. Once I finish editing, I'm gonna chop it up. I'll send you clips and share the long form version with you before I put it out so that you can
Okay.
see what we're working on.
Man, I trust you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is whatever. I'm just glad that I could be of service.
I appreciate you so much, and
Hey,
we
can we
can't
do
wait to
something
hear what
on
else you're doing.
can we do a podcast on black humor and race?
Definitely.
We
That's what
do
I'm
it.
saying.
Think
Yeah,
about it. Like we know enough about black comedians.
I, I've
It'll just turn into us telling our favorite race
was.
jokes to each other. But we're
And on
citing
the
our
next
sources.
episode of the BigPotz
Yeah,
podcast, we are
I
going
mean,
to be
I'm just
doing
saying, like
jokes.
how black folk talk about humor. Sprinkle some
No,
crack, Johnson. Like it's a yeah.
that I've always said it. It's one of the. I have these like almost these vaunted rhetorical spaces for Black culture, and the comedy stage is one of them.
It's an important
Comedy,
place, bro.
the pulpit, politics. I forgot what the other one was, but definitely comedy.
Yeah,
Yeah, hell yeah.
they're all relatively the same space.
No, that truth telling spaces.
No, definitely not truth telling. Comedy's the only truth telling space. The pulpit and the politics is the power telling space.
Yeah, but truth, the rhetoric is supposed to be a truth teller, like being able to speak to power and say something like informative.
Supposed to be.
Yeah, that all of
Us
it.
them new white
Yeah,
people over there.
that's what I'm saying. Even in comedy, that's happening. Comedy is cooked. Everybody's telling the same. Have you ever noticed jokes are white people be or black people act like
Well, yeah.
everybody's doing the same damn joke?
Well, you know why though, right?
Why?
Reality television. Once reality television became the primary form of entertainment, it affected everything. And so now everything's got to be to the formula. You see what I'm saying? Like influence is more important. Your power of influence is more important than any product that you sell. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's that kind of world that we live in. That's the reason why, like, to be a comic, you gotta
Stay
do
in the front.
this.
Stay in the
Because
formula.
if you got think about it, man, if you don't have a documentary style office sitcom, every sitcom that's
Yeah.
filmed nowadays is in that like almost documentary style,
Yeah. Well,
right?
because it's big business, reproducibility. If it worked one time, why would
It's
I
going to work
do something
twice.
that, yeah,
And we as undereducated dumb fuck Americans, we loved repetition.
give it to me simple.
That's why we
Simple
count
package.
sheep to go to sleep. You understand what I'm saying? We love repetition. And when you're counting sheep, it ain't different sheep.
It
It's the same
ain't
damn
good
sheep. Just
shit.
boop one, boop two. And the next thing you know, that's the reason why you got to count backwards when they put you under for surgery.
Yeah.
Like,
Monotony.
bro, we love that shit. Like it makes us closer to God. I can't explain it. I've just witnessed it happening. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't. That's beyond me to know. Hey man, I love you, man. I really, really
Love
do.
you too, John. Hey, I'll call you this weekend, though.
Yes, sir. I'll be around, bro. All
All right, peace.
right, man. Peace.
Please like, subscribe, share, and comment the BigPotz podcast.